Keek on the mic, keek on the mic, keek on the mic, keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are going to have some difficult decisions to make by the end of the season. Bears fans, yesterday right here on Keek on the Mic, we talked a lot about quarterback Justin Fields and when and if he comes back this week against the Detroit Lions. Justin Fields will then have 7 games to prove that he is the guy here in Chicago moving forward. But the same has to go for head coach Matt Eberflus as well. So let's go ahead and talk about on today's episode of Keek on the Mic why these last 7 games for the Chicago Bears could be crucial for head coach Matt Eberflus moving forward. Bears fans, when we're looking at head coach Matt Eberflus, you guys all know how I feel about Eberflus. When I think about him as overall head coach, I feel like he has struggled quite a bit. When you look at him as just a defensive coordinator, he has been pretty decent. The Chicago Bears defense looks like it's ascending in the right direction. You got a guy like Montez Sweat, and obviously that is paying huge dividends already by adding a player of that caliber. But overall, as a head coach, Matt Eberflus has struggled here in Chicago. He went 3-14 in his first season, and the Bears are currently 3-7 this season, which makes Matt Eberflus' record as the Chicago Bears head coach 6-21. And we all know that is not good enough to continue to keep your job here as an NFL coach. That's why on this episode of Keek on the Mic, the conversation has to be had. As much as we're talking about quarterback Justin Fields in these last 7 games, we also have to look at head coach Matt Eberflus as well in these next 7 games for the Chicago Bears. Once again, Bears fans, looking at the remaining schedule for the Chicago Bears, it is going to be a very tough stretch for head coach Matt Eberflus and even quarterback Justin Fields. We head to Detroit to take on the Lions. Then we head to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Then we have our bye week in week 13. Then we play the Lions once again off our bye week at Soldier Field. Then we go to Cleveland to take on that very, very good Cleveland Browns defense. Then we play the Cardinals, Falcons, and then we also end with the Green Bay Packers. So Bears fans, when I look at the remaining opponents on the Chicago Bears schedule, it is going to be a really tough stretch for Justin Fields and head coach Matt Eberflus. But if I'm in Ryan Poles and if I'm the Chicago Bears organization, both Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus have 7 games to prove why we should move forward with both of them within this organization. And Bears fans, you guys already know how I feel about quarterback Justin Fields. I feel like Justin Fields will do enough to make Ryan Poles want to keep him for one more year and continue to build around him. But I really want to talk about head coach Matt Eberflus because once again, he went 3-14 last year. He's currently 3-7 this year. That makes his overall record as the Chicago Bears head coach 6-21, which is not good whatsoever. And I want to throw off some stats why these next 7 games for Matt Eberflus are going to be a crucial part of if Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears let go of him or not. When you look at Matt Eberflus against the NFC North, he is winless. And what's so intriguing about that stat, Bears fans, is that 3 of the next 4 games are against NFC North opponents. To me, if you cannot win within your division, you have to go. That is an absolutely horrid stat when you're looking at Matt Eberflus' tenure as Chicago Bears head coach. We have always struggled against the Green Bay Packers, but now we are struggling against the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions as well. And I understand the Detroit Lions are a good football team. The Minnesota Vikings are a good football team as well. But besides losing to the Green Bay Packers, we have always been competitive against the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And it has not been that way ever since Matt Eberflus has arrived as Chicago Bears head coach. The Chicago Bears have not been competitive in those matchups within the division. And even though ever since Matt Eberflus has taken over play calling for the defense side of the football for the Chicago Bears defense, his defenses have allowed 58 points combined versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions offense is a well-oiled machine led by offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. So this is not going to be any easy task to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, to stop Jared Goff, to stop Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, right? Obviously, David Montgomery is going to want blood. I'm coming from the Chicago Bears. This is a huge game for David Montgomery, so I know he's going to be coming in hard. But it has been a struggle to stop the Detroit Lions defense. And under head coach Matt Eberflus, it has not been good against the Detroit Lions. Another mind-boggling stat about head coach Matt Eberflus and why these next 7 games are so crucial in terms of his job status right here in Chicago. He is 1-10 against teams with winning records. Yes, Bears fans, I said 1-10. It has not been good with Matt Eberflus being the head coach here in Chicago. He is 1-10 against teams with winning records, and all 3 opponents that we're facing in these next 4 weeks The Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, we already lost to the Vikings a couple of weeks ago, and the Cleveland Browns all have winning records. So if Matt Eberflus can come in and let's say they have an amazing game plan and they could beat a team like Cleveland, maybe beat Minnesota, and maybe beat the Lions once, even though it's going to be really hard to beat the Detroit Lions because they're a really good football team, I think that would go a long way to possibly saving his job for at least next season here in Chicago. Make no mistake, Bears fans, these next 7 games are going to be crucial for head coach Matt Eberflus. I understand there has been a lot of conflicting reports saying that Matt Eberflus's job is safe, but trust me, no head coach that goes 6-21 and has been one of the worst head coaches in Chicago Bears history, his job is absolutely not safe. If he comes out and let's say he could win at least for the next 7, I think that would save Matt Eberflus for at least one more season. But here is my problem with keeping a guy like head coach Matt Eberflus. And this is not even including all the stuff I just mentioned. If you go ahead and keep head coach Matt Eberflus, and let's say you go ahead and get rid of quarterback Justin Fields, which that's a really real scenario right there. Keeping head coach Matt Eberflus and getting rid of Justin Fields. If Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears go with that scenario, my question to you guys that you guys can answer down below in the comment section, would you trust Matt Eberflus? Let's say they either bring in a new offensive coordinator or stick with Luke Getsy. Would you trust Matt Eberflus and the same exact coaching staff to try or attempt to develop another quarterback? Go ahead and answer that question down below, because I have no faith in Matt Eberflus being able to pick a competent offensive coordinator, because he is the one that wanted Luke Getsy. And to me, I don't trust Matt Eberflus to make that decision once again. So once again, Bears fans, these next 7 weeks are obviously crucial for Justin Fields, but I think Justin Fields will be okay. I think Justin Fields will do enough in order to at least get one more year and allow Ryan Poles to continue to build around the young quarterback. But in terms of head coach Matt Eberflus, I think when you're looking at these next 7 games, it is also very crucial for Matt Eberflus to end the season on a high note. If they can do that, I think Matt Eberflus will at least be good for one more season. And once again, Bears fans, I want to make it known that I have the same expectations for quarterback Justin Fields. To me, I feel like Justin Fields is the guy, but for a lot of people, these next 7 games are just as crucial for quarterback Justin Fields. So both head coach Matt Eberflus and quarterback Justin Fields have these next 7 games to prove why Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears organization should stick with them as head coach and quarterback 1 right here in Chicago. So overall, Bears fans, we just have to wait and see what happens. I know there's probably not a lot of faith. We have a lot of tough matchups. Obviously, we played the Detroit Lions twice in the span of 3 weeks. We played the Minnesota Vikings again, and they're playing at a high level. Then we have to go to Cleveland and play a really good Cleveland Browns team. But then when you look at the Falcons, you look at the Cardinals, and maybe even when you look at the Green Bay Packers, those are all winnable games. So we have to sit back and just continue to support our Chicago Bears and see what happens. But before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. What is your record prediction for the Chicago Bears in their last 7 games? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan you know. Better than that, be back for an all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.